G'day, today I'm flying Emirates first class on an A380 for less than the price of economy. And you could be too. I'll tell you more a little bit later in the video. Off to a great start, just got through immigration and realised we'd left a 600mm and a 300mm lens in the car. So now Jace's girlfriend is racing back in the Land Rover to drop off our lenses. What a bunch of dipsticks.
Sausage? Lucky I'm not an Uber, hey?
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye. Well, in the end it wasn't too much of a drama. About a 30-minute delay, and there's two very expensive lenses that we have to have in Bahrain. I would have liked to have shown you the lounge, but we were too late for that and I've just barely made it on board.
Hello, hi, Mr. Ilman. Welcome aboard.
Am I the last?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, sir.
Please.
Right. Where is everyone?
Oh, it's all yours.
Really?
Yes, it's all yours.
Hold on. That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
Today I'm heading to Bahrain for pre-season testing and then the first Formula One race for season 2024. And I'll tell you something here, I have all 14 seats in first class. I've never, have I? Yeah, maybe once before I've been on a flight that's only had one person, me, on it. But today, all of these suites are mine. I've reviewed this cabin a number of times, so I won't go into too much detail, but essentially you've got 7 seats on this side and 7 on this side. I should tell you that there is a personal minibar, huge screen, a number of lights, an orchid, a towelette and some potions, a diary and a pen, and a basket of sweet treats, which, and I mentioned this before, these are my favourite. Licorice with chocolate on the outside. I love them. Do we get an amenities pack? Yes, and it will have some gorgeous Bulgari aftershave. You watch. That's it. I'm not complaining. That's probably worth every bit of $50 US. Now I have some 10 plus hours on this flight, so I expect to have some great food and drink and maybe 7 hours sleep. That would be nice. And which suite should I sleep in? This one? That one? What about that one? Or that one? This is 1K, 2K, 3K, and 4K. And I remind you that I've paid less than an economy seat price for this 10.5-hour flight. On the Emirates A380, there's a bar right down the back and you can stand around and have a drink as long as the seatbelt sign's not on. It's well worth doing. There's some snacks down there and a wide range of beverages. When it comes to seat selection though, here in this first class cabin, I'm going to suggest you don't go for row 1. It's a narrower suite by about 10 centimetres and you get people going in and out of the curtain if the cabin's full. But of course the great thing about this suite is the doors close and you get complete privacy. Well, when I say complete privacy, obviously somebody can look over the top, but still, it's pretty darn good. We've been in the air for slightly less than an hour, a bit of turbulence, so our food has been delayed, but I'll tell you what I've ordered: the caviar, the tingling prawns, and then the grilled barramundi. Now before my meal arrives, let me tell you how you too could get this first class suite for less than the price of an economy seat on the same flight. First of all, let me show you the price of a first class ticket Perth to Dubai, $11,500 or $12,500. Remember, that's Australian dollars, US is about 2/3 of it. The economy price, cheapest I could find, $1,400. For the same amount of cash as a first class ticket, I could get 8 or 9 economy seats if I wanted to. But being a Qantas frequent flyer, I decided to see if I could get a points flight. And if you go in, the first search shows up about 2 million points. That's a lot of points. However, if you click reward seats, look what happens. 129,300 points. But how do you get those points for near on nothing? What I did was I grabbed one of these credit cards. When you spend $6,000 in the first 3 months, you get 100,000 points extra. So at the end of 3 months, I get 100,000 points, plus I get 4,500 points for spending the $6,000. But I'm still 25,000 points shy of what I need. But that's no drama, because I'm booking so much travel right now, that builds up very quickly when I use a Qantas American Express card, because I get 1 point for every dollar spent. But there are some taxes, and for this particular flight, they're a whopping $1,177. That's a little over $700 US. So for 3/4 of the price of an economy ticket, I've got myself a first class seat. But let me tell you about another flight later in the year, Perth to Los Angeles. That's 189,000 points. But I do 5 hours in business to Sydney and then 15 in first class to LA. So for 50% more points, I get double the time in the air. And are the taxes double? No, they are 1/3 of the Dubai ticket. Oh, and my wife got one of those 100,000 bonus points credit cards. So I was more than half the way there with that fare. I should point out that it's not easy to find a first class seat. I had to check the Qantas site every day for months before I found one. And I'm a platinum flyer, so if you're a lesser level flyer, you might have to be checking 2 and 3 times a day and just hoping that one pops up. But when you see that there's 13 other seats free here, you got to think that Qantas and Emirates would put on more seats available to members to use their points. Before I go any further, I want you to have a look at this. This is the selection of drinks and snacks that you can avail yourself at any time throughout the flight, and it's just in the front of the cabin. I didn't eat all of the barramundi. It was a little bland for my liking, but the vegetables were excellent. A couple of you have said that I need to do more on wine. So here's the wine list. Now I haven't had any of these tonight, but as you can see, there's 2 French white wines, a New Zealand and an Australian, and on the red side 2 French and 3 Australians. And then there's a French sticky and a Portuguese port. Now I need your help here. If you've flown on a first class flight, say out of America or Europe, is the wine list different to what I've got here? If I was a betting man, I'd say yes, I think the Australian wines are here because we're flying out of Australia, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before once. It was back in 1982, I remember it vividly. Just nipped down to business class and picked up one of their amenities packs to compare it with the first class amenities pack, and pretty much the only difference is the fragrance. This is what you get in first class. This is what you get in business. The crew tonight have been nothing but obliging. I've asked for 4 mattresses to see what that's like to sleep on. And my friend here from Serbia has agreed to make me up a super bed on what is a super flight. Rightio guys, it's time for me to go and have a snooze. But first I'll just get changed into this kit. Well, I've had about 5 hours sleep. We've got 2 hours to go until we land, and I was just thinking, effectively, with what I've paid in cash for this flight, it works out to about $50 US a seat, given that I've got 14 of them. I had a Reuben sandwich on the Cathay flight, which you might have seen on my last video, but this is not very good. That was much better. I'll just come with a few chips. But they are floury, just not great. Which is disappointing because I so much wanted a great meal to start the day. We're 20 minutes from starting our descent, so I've nipped in here for a quick shower. Oh well, my son has just left the 600mm lens back at his seat, and luckily one of the passengers told us. We're not going very well, are we? Well, that was one of the best flights I've ever had. The food wasn't great. I was disappointed with the barramundi and also the Reuben sandwich, but I can wear that because the rest of the flight was simply sensational. Every flight should be that good. Oh, hello.
Hi there.
That's me. And we've got our own first class bus waiting for us. There are only 14 seats on this bus because there's only 14 seats in the A380 in first class. Welcome to Emirates First Class Lounge in Terminal C. Now this is the smallest and the least impressive of their lounges. If you go over to Terminal A, that's my favourite, and Terminal B is also exceptional. This is a lot smaller. You can still get a meal here, and it looks over the tarmac behind me. For a small lounge, there's a lot of food up there, and on top of that, there's also an a la carte menu, which you get by scanning here. So I'm going to see what they've got. But I've started off with some salmon. Jace has had 100 weight here of croissants, but that will kill me. I had a couple of poached eggs for breakfast and they were great. And then I tried this tart, which was tasty, but I didn't eat all of it, and I certainly didn't need it. There are 8 first-class seats on this plane, 42 in business, and at the moment looks like wouldn't even be 2/3 full, and then 300 and something in economy. Well, we've just been handed the menu for breakfast, and we get a choice of, well, you don't get a choice at all, you get a cold plate. Meats, cheeses, pastries and fruit. But if you're keen for a champagne, there's Moët and Chandon, and there's 4 different options for wine, but 8 AM in the morning, it's not the right time for drinking wine for me anyway. Well, we're here in Bahrain, it's 9 AM, there's 21 degrees, and I must admit that I thought that the business class on that 777-300 was not lie flat, but it is, and it was quite comfortable, although it is quite narrow. Oh, we're with Steve, on the same one as Steve. This airport's only a couple of years old, it's very bright, modern, and has a lovely scent about it. We're now picking up a car and heading to the Western. A leisurely 25-minute drive from the airport to the beautiful Western Hotel, which is part of this magnificent shopping centre. So if there's anything we've forgotten, and there is always something we've forgotten, we can always nip next door and get it. Well, that was interesting. We went to check in at the Western, and the manager came out and said, "Oh, we'd like to move you to the Le Méridien," which is typically a smaller room and not quite as expensive. And she says, "No, we've got a suite for you. And you got breakfast, and you got lounge access." So I think we've landed on our feet here. Thank you to the Le Méridien, I think. Whoa! Wow, we have a very nice suite. 2 rooms. Jace gets the roll-out bed behind me, and this is my room with a very nice bathroom. And what is my view? Well, it was a pretty good result, I think, ending up in this suite. Now, a favour from you, please. Could you please hit the like button, and for those of you unsubscribed, subscribe. And see all this stuff here? You should go and have a look at it. Thanks for watching.
And stay passionate.
Joining me on the flight deck, senior first officer Lieutenant Captain, along with the Captain Karen Asham. Your passenger today is Muhammad. This is my Captain Supervisor Mariam Johannes as well. As the crew will look at your safety and comfort. Flight time today is 10 hours and 20 minutes. We're cruising 38,000 feet per hour and up at 40,000 feet.